Hi guys, Rando Gamer here with the next session of Adventures of the Standing Bear. This is session 19. I apologize for not having a video up a little bit sooner. We went camping this last week for the 4th of July weekend, so ended up not having, technology and whatnot available. But got back from camping and which was pretty good. It was up in near Pineview Reservoir, so some bodies of water nearby, a little bit of s'mores, a little bit of that type of stuff. But got back to it with Adventures of the Standing Bear, which is the OG, or at least the sequel to the OG campaign that got me into the group. This session is picking up after the group has made their way to the capital and kind of doing a little bit of side questing. So I think, if I recall correctly, we had dedicated about 2 weeks to uh, the capital here of doing some side quests and trying to figure out where to go next as far as the Ambrosia quest line. Trying to get a little bit of like magical items, upgrades, all that jazz in here. It's also the prelude into Cassandra potentially turning endless. That doesn't happen in this session as far as her taking him out on a hunt. That's supposed to happen next session. But there were some magic items purchased, some decisions on what everybody wanted to do in town. We'll get to see a little bit of the religious side of Zaphreal and Cassandra while we're in town. We learn about the fighting pits in the capital. Overall, just a nice little slice of life and character building for all the different PCs, which is really exciting. But if you like the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to stay up to date of all my content, make sure to hit the subscribe. But without further ado, here is session 19 of the Adventures of the Standing Bear.
Left the adventure of this, the Fellowship of the Standing Bear. You guys had returned from the Phoenix Temple from the Meadoff Peaks to, after sort of successfully dealing with the vampiric parasite that had sort of taken claim over the Sunwell, if you will. And once getting back to Windshire, though, y'all kind of were more or less stopping for just a minute before ultimately deciding to go to Urim. However, there was a very nice conversation between. I've already actually skipped over some things. Mhox had done some more closer looking and researching and notes as far as like the lore tablets that were in the temple. Cassandra and Endless both had a conversation about turning Endless and like what that would be, and there were certain stipulations put up by Cassandra before a decision like that could be made, which Endless agreed to. Later on, Endless would talk to Zaphreal on the airship about some potential risks of like falling prey to something like vampirism and like the potential consequences that could come from that. And that conversation ultimately leading into something that was DM secrets between Endless and Zaphreal. Later, let's see here. Zaphreal and Fia also had a bit of a conversation about just kind of touching base on where Fia was at and sort of contemplating the nature of her like history as far as like the creation of the world, it seems, and how she plays a role in that. When getting to Windshire, though, Mhox ended up talking to Quentin about potentially having some of the Emerald Grove druids go with the airship and essentially use it to drop you guys off in while they fly back to the temple. Quentin ultimately realizing that this was a good idea and had also apologized to Mhox and by proxy the group about him and his doubts that he may have had in your guys' ability to sort of protect Fia. Let's see here. Spending more time in Windshire, though, Zaphreal and Fia had gone to the infirmary to sort of check up on Lock and Key and also the Placid Wing. And turns out Lock and Key are doing quite well. So much so that they are speaking, which is something very new. I don't know if it's ever been explicitly said out loud, but at least the time that Fia has known Lock and Key, they have been mute. So the fact that they're speaking is a good sign that they are in a good place. Zaphreal had also checked in with the Placid Queen, and it seemed that there was an elf and 2 Graveborn sort of nurses or lab techs, if you will, that worked in the space and were essentially heading the whole new idea of having plastic surgery potentially be an option for the people for the Graveborn and potentially others throughout the land. There were some comedic moments with the Graveborn nurses and not them, being totally safe with certain medical tools. But Zaphreal had brought up an idea of different ways that they could use skin from the other parts of the body on the face to be able to really stretch or thin out certain scars or injuries. After that, though, Fia had went over to Graveborn's house and they had what was honestly the most awkward conversation. Fia kind of getting an idea that Gravebones might have some sort of romantical ideas because of something that Lock and Key had sort of slipped up on. Gravebones was immediately disinterested, even acknowledging that, and eventually it was established that next time that Fia comes into town, they will have sort of a little, hang out with each other, spend some time, and catch up on stuff. Outside of that, Cassandra had also had a conversation with Raiden over dinner about, but basically one, to ask what this liquid iron is, which is what you've learned to be the next crucial ingredient in as far as crafting an invulnerability potion. Turns out he didn't know much, but he gave you an idea of Urim would probably be a good place to look for that, and it was determined that the device that you guys have been sort of collaborating on would be done in about 2 weeks. It was also decided by a combination of using the treasury here within Windshire and the party fund for for the creation of a new teleporting device for the party to use. This time it would be in the shape of a bracelet made for Fia, thus giving the Standing Bear the ability to go wherever the fuck they want again, which is exciting for me as a DM, because now you guys can go to fucking all over the place. With that being said, though, you guys had slept tight for the night and quickly made your way to Windshire, where you would eventually go back to HQ and see that the second district, especially the block that you guys live on, is currently under construction, and there seems to be infrastructure being laid out similar to that of what you guys have seen in Collinsburg. And this is essentially the technology that allows hot steam to be pressurized and sent through these tubes underneath the road, which would then heat it, thus creating no snow, no ice, no slush. And going into the HQ, you guys would touch base with Malin just a little bit, and he was slightly frustrated that he was not aware that the masters would be returning to the tower, and certain preparations weren't made. But we kind of left off with lunch, a lunch that Endless had ordered up for the party to eat, and as as we can we change the music up to something like actually something similar vibes to this, and then maybe layer on some sort of like crowd chatter in the background, if that makes sense. We'll pick up as we left off. A bunch of adventuring parties slash solo adventures had just shown up to the tower to collect payment for certain quests they had just achieved. I mean, finished rather, and we'll say we will pick up about an hour or so later. There are some straggling groups of adventurers that are biding their time here within the main level of the tower. Some are in the mess hall. Um, you'll notice that the room that originally had your guys' table that you would usually eat at has now been there's been a second table that's put in there that's just as long to accommodate the amount of adventurers that may be staying there at one particular time, and some of them have decided to eat. And I will give the floor to you guys. It's quieted down, but there is chit chatter around you. What would you guys like to do?
We're currently in the tower right now.
We're at lunch, right?
Yes, yeah. You can either you're kind of eating like a light lunch, you know. There is a nice blood bag for you, uh, uh, Cassandra. This is not necessarily something that's bought illegally, but it's not necessarily best to sort of ask questions where Malin may or may not be getting this uh, sustenance.
She's kind of drinking it, and she's like, "Why does this taste familiar?"
Not gonna lie, it's like the equivalent of like a Pabst. So it's not like great blood, but it's better than the ration type blood you've been consuming.
Box wine.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
be knocking box wine.
She just keeps like, even though her teeth are covered in blood, like everything's covered in blood, she just keeps going like after like every like sip, she's just
Yeah, there's a little bit of film that's being left in your mouth.
she
That's
just
our
kind of
pearl.
she just looks around and she just kind of mutters, "So much cat on, I'm stuck eating this shit." And she keeps slurping.
I would like to try to find Malin.
I will say that he is within the general. When you guys are at the tower, he more or less stays within earshot as to serve whatever need you guys may have. But as you call out Malin, he says, "Ah, yes." He appears around the corner as if he was standing there, waiting for you to call upon him. As you guys are sort of gathered around the table, he sort of approaches. What is it that I can do for you, Sir Zaphreal?
I more or less want to know the general structure of the quests that we hand out. As in,
Well-
like, difficulty rating or how we tell competency for specific adventurers.
Not going to lie, the barrier of entry is quite low, and I think that's why our guild was so successful at first. I will admit, because of the lowered expectations, there have been some would-be adventurers that come here, but we've been able to grow a quite large reputation with here in the community. All this to say, Master Zavril, I would say the average level of quest that we hand out is about a C rank. We don't typically get a lot of contracts that are higher profile than that. There was once, just a couple months ago, that the Goosemans have taken care of that was a B rank. doesn't happen too often. I imagine as we establish ourselves more securely within the city, that higher clientele may be interested in. Anyways,
All
and he
this,
bows.
all this to say, Malin, if we ever secure any A or S rank quests, inform us first before you divvy them out.
Oh, but of course. And he just bows again, a little bit too low.
Have we had any initiates come from the Temple of Cord?
Um, I guess there are some religious zealots among us, but I mean, I'm not really the one to sort of speak with the adventurers. Ho ho ho. That's what my assistants do.
I understand. Thank you for running a tight ship, Malin.
Oh, but of course. Mox, were you gonna say something?
Zaphreal, I don't mean to intrude as you're discussing the quest priorities and allotments, but Malin, if you have someone of the more studious type in our guild at the moment, may I request that you have them go out and do some research on some of the primordial sort of history. Specifically, I'm looking on information on the 5 beings that came later into existence, disrupted the order between the elementals and the original gods.
He looks at you very like crossed almost, and once he raises his eyebrow. Oh, oh yes, of course I can do that. We we do have someone just for that. And he rings a little bell that has been installed. It's a series of ropes and pulleys that go around since you've last been here. And when he pulls on it, he just yells out, "Melee!" And he screams out, and just a few minutes later, Melee, who is a gnome female, she seems to be like rather young. She has uh, like a double pigtail sort of situation going on, pink hair with very large blue eyes, with a very small set of spectacles, which you all assume is for the aesthetic because there's no way that she uses those tiny things to read. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello. And she like looks to the rest of the standing bear. Oh, hello there. My name's Maylee, and yes, Maylee, yes, yes, yes. We all know. Please, Master Mox here is very interested in a very peculiar amount of history that might be difficult. We're looking for something that involves the primordial beings, as he looks back over to Mox.
Yes,
And
we're going to do our own research as well, but the more that we have on the task, the better, especially as we may have to leave to another temple here shortly. When we were at the Temple of the Phoenix, or the Temple of Pelor, we saw some inscriptions on the wall that depicted some elementals and the original, what appeared to be the original gods, namely Melora and Pelor, and perhaps Cord, making an accord with the elementals. This was later disrupted by 5 beings that seemed to corrupt mankind and lead to an uprising of them. We are really interested in those 5 beings. Specifically, I want to know if Ambrosia is one of them, because that would be very bad.
Just another thing to add on to here. We would appreciate your cooperation and whatever aid you can give us on this, but just know, this is not exactly an easy task that we are asking of you. It may require you to get a team of your own. The temple that we found was littered with vampires.
Mally just looks extremely nervous, and also like she seems to be thinking quite hard. I will definitely have to look into this because History is my thing, but nothing past the Solarian Empire. So I do have some resources and people I can use. I can look into this immediately.
I think you'll do fine, darling. As she like smiles at her, and her teeth are just like still covered in that film.
Ha ha ha. Yes, Master Cassandra. As she bows very nervously.
If at
She's-
all, uh, with all of this aside, I do recommend proceeding with some caution. I'm not sure what kind of information is being hidden or who would like to have it hidden if that is the case. I don't believe that you would be in any imminent danger if you know this information, but make sure that you trust your sources.
Well, I'll be honest, some of the resources I can use are not privy to the likes of people like you. However, there is this very, very um, renowned bookseller within the second district here. He has a private collection of very old tomes, and it may or may not help you in your look. Excuse me, in your search for information.
See,
The name is Mowgli's Black Book, and he's maybe 4 or 5 blocks from here. And you know, I've never looked into this, but that could, because the thing is, the information that we're looking for here is rare. It's hard to find a lot of text on world events that predate the Solarian Empire, but it does exist because I'm sure of it. Anyways, I'll look right into this, and you can see that she's wearing a blue diamond sort of earring that dangles about a half inch from her ear, and it starts to light up blue as she like whispers into her like shoulder almost. Okay, I'll let you know as soon as I find anything.
Perfect, Melee. And
understood.
I do recommend starting with what you know on the Solarian Empire. The brief history we saw seemed to end with the rise of the Solarian Empire, almost in tandem with the uprising of mankind. I assume like they're trying to reach the heavens, and by the technology developed, that was their way of achieving it.
Just to be completely transparent, I I don't know much. Like I said, this is more of my colleagues' specialty, but I do know that there is an old tale that's been passed down through the generations that Asmodeus is linked to the corruption of mankind. So maybe he could be one of the 5 you mentioned that came.
That
that
would
would
definitely
make
fit.
sense.
Anyways, no time to waste, right? And she sort of like circles her pointed finger in the air, and you can see pixie dust start to sort of emanate around her form. And before you've noticed, she's sort of apparated into a bunch of sparkles that eventually lie on the floor and disappear.
Well, since we're on the topic of, Ambrosia and the primordials, tell me, Mox, how much knowledge do you have on vampires?
Uh, I mean, outside of how to kill them, there's not a whole lot of depth. We didn't go into the full history aside from that the oldest ones are incredibly powerful, and most of the common techniques for taking down vampires do not apply to them.
So, I guess I'll be transparent with the group regarding my goals and objectives when it comes to that cunt Ambrosia. Um, I'll be frank. When I kill him, I want to take his power for the Raven Queen. I want to use his legacy to hunt his kind.
That's
I need to
bold.
figure out how to do that.
I believe that you are capable of doing so, Cassandra, but assuming that we can accomplish this goal and help you towards that path, what makes you certain that any of the fledglings that would be underneath your power would, say, rebel against you?
Legends. Zaphreal, I'm going to kill all of them.
I understand. But are you willing to live with the living hypocrisy that would imply yourself to be?
I live it now. My goal, you all have helped me. You've helped me, you, Thea, Mhox, Throg, Engless have helped me get past what I've been dealing with. I don't hate what I am anymore. In fact, I love what I am. Because what I am is the monster in the shadows that keeps other monsters scared. That they won't make another little girl an orphan.
See, I mean not to offend.
You
I
do
just
know.
wish to challenge your goal, at least.
Yeah,
Make you consider the questions.
I would.
I will.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Um, carrying on from what Zaphreal was stating is I don't necessarily disagree with taking down Ambrosia and ridding the world of other vampires, but I think the notion of taking his power in itself is misguided. The power that he has is part of his corruption. So trying to take his power would imply that you are wanting to corrupt yourself with what he has. He's
I'll
ancient.
have the guidance of the Raven Mother.
If we were to ever get to that point, Cassandra, would that be a power you're willing to relinquish to the Raven Queen so it is not your burden to bear?
I will do whatever the Raven Queen orders of me. In the end, I am her sword against all monsters. I simply wish to become the apex, the
Well,
predator of monsters.
what little bit I know of Ambrosia, he is not the apex.
He's a good step up from where I'm at, though.
Indeed. But, like I said, power corrupts. And the fact that these vampires have existed as long as they have tells me that the influence of the Raven Queen over them might not be as strong as you may believe at the moment. I am always willing to help, but we need to not approach this with the understanding of that it may not be an achievable goal without some sort of catch. So there's something that will need to be sacrificed. What it is, I don't know. But I don't know that you can make the claim that you're willing to make that sacrifice at the moment because we don't know what it is.
Most likely.
Additionally,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry. Additionally, I agree that having Throg and I team up on you to train you for more difficult combats is an effective way to prepare your mind and your body to avoid defeat at all costs. However, when we inevitably face Ambrosia, are you prepared to fight somebody who has trained however long they have been turned to fight their own kind?
I'm going to show Ambrosia what the true meaning of being a war-torn family means.
I'm with you, Cassandra. There are some worries that I have, but
Just know that I will soon be going to a Raven Queen temple to converse with the mother. She is very aware the promise I made to her that fateful night that I was thrown from that cliff. She knows my goals, and that I'm her weapon, her sword against my kind. Any goal that I make or any achievement I make is to be the strongest I can be for her. And Ambrosia's step is that next step in wiping out monsters.
Zaphreal gives you a nod of approval from that of a paladin.
She nods back. And on the topic of 2-on-1, I am going to be, she almost the whole group, very busy these next 2 weeks. I may need some assistance watching over Engless in his time of transformation. I need to spar with Zaphreal Throg at least every other day if possible. I need to find more about the liquid iron for the potions I'm trying to copy. And I also need to learn more about vampires, and I need to replenish my magic scrolls that were used at the temple, and then some.
We certainly have. We're certainly in the best place to handle some of those. I do have a request, however.
Yes.
I realize that the hunger that Endless will be feeling is going to be astronomical when he finally turns. I would request that that not happen in the middle of town.
No, she like kind of taps her finger a little nervously on the table. Maybe a little more anxiety. I will make sure English has it. I am going to, after today, I'm going to tell English to eat whatever he wants, do whatever he wants that he's going to miss. And then the next day, I'm going to take him hunting to show him the true side of being a vampire and the parts of him that will change, whether he likes it or not. And then I will find a few bad people here or there, kidnap them, and, bring lands to the slaughter.
I think we all have things we'd like to do here while in town.
On a meta level, real quick, it's my intention to this training type stuff. I think is a little bit more suitable for a downtime event. Not that that's a bad thing, but I think it sounds like you want to spend like 2 weeks.
Yeah, like every other day, she wants to train with Frog and Zaphreal.
Yeah. Okay.
We can like RP. We can just like cinematic like that just happens rather than rolling out the entire thing.
And that's the other thing. I don't think I want to do the whole like actual combat because that would
It
literally
wasn't
take
on that
a
call.
long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So, with that being said, then, the Adventure of the Standing Bear. My gosh, I keep wanting to say the campaign, the Fellowship of the Standing Bear. Would you guys like to tell me what you guys want to do? It seems like there's a handful of things you guys would like to go and do. So why don't we start with what that is? We'll start with Mhox. What are some things you'd like to do?
Can I throw in a little suggestion here before we split off?
Sure. Well, there might be some overlap with certain people.
Yeah, I think he just wants a list of what the things are, so that if people are grouping, he can send them together.
Yeah.
My bad.
The two things I was looking to do, at least the first couple days, I don't necessarily have a plan for the second half, and it'll depend on what information I get. Want to do a little bit of shopping for magical items, and then the big one is researching, specifically starting at Mowgli's Black Books, based off of Melee's information.
Okay. What about you, Cassandra?
So, she needs to do a whole alchemist run on learning about the iron. She wants to upgrade her entire alchemist setup anyway. Do some experiment, just get a whole upgrade.
Okay.
She needs to go to the magic, get some magic scrolls. She needs to visit the Raven Queen Temple, and then besides that, the English and the training thing is it.
Okay, so you want to? All right, so we'll stuff you in part of that into magic shop.
Yeah, that's totally
The
fine.
okay, um, Tucker. The name's leaving my mind. Mystics and Wonders. There we go.
Amazing, I love that name.
Um, okay, so just to repeat, you want magic scrolls. You want to get an upgrade to your alchemy setup, and training, right?
Yeah, and the liquid iron.
The liquid
yeah,
iron. Okay.
and the temple. If there's a Raven Queen temple in the city at all.
Okay. All right, we'll get to that because there is a Raven Queen temple, but like, even though the Raven Queen is like a proudly worshipped god in the accepted pantheon of the current empire, it's not like because of the certain like stigmas that are surrounding death and society not necessarily liking death.
Yeah,
It doesn't have as much of a big prominent cathedral as like Cord or Palor would. However, there is a temple within the second district here that you would be able to visit. Um,
cool.
Fia, anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, so at some point I think we're gonna go to the bank. So like while we're in town for that, I don't necessarily know where I'm gonna go to find this, but I want some sort of small pet, like a ferret or a little hamster or something, and I don't care if it's like a magical type pet, I don't know. So maybe Mystic and Wonders, maybe there's a pet store. And I'd also go with Mox to check out the bookstore.
Okay. I will say this. You have employees that will go pick up your gold from the bank, so you won't necessarily have to
Oh,
like
okay.
have a hand on that. In fact, we can just sort of retroactively say that because I know that was an intention of you guys to sort of cash in on that. Um, so actually, we'll just get that out of the way. I'll say like about the time you guys are about to like head out and start doing your thing. After the tower gets its cut for the things it needs to fund the guild, there is a, we'll say, because it's been a couple we'll say there's 6,500 gold and 200 platinum that is up to you on how you divide amongst you guys and the party, but there has been over the last couple of months in the winter, there's been a big push on the Urim Empire's their side of the war front, taking advantage of some of the cold weather has given them the ability to push further into enemy lines, thus increasing the need of having the mobile home technology. Anyways, pretty big payout. This is probably the biggest payout you guys have gotten since a long while.
Ooh.
Okay. So I just threw all that in the party fund. We can divvy out later or give as needed. But right now we're sitting at 8,655 gold and 650 platinum.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Ooh.
So
I was-
approximately around 14,000 gold is what we're sitting at.
I love that the war wagons just keeps paying us out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like Saffron's legacy, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm gone, but here's that check though.
Okay, Zaphreal, anything would you like to hop in on the things that have been mentioned, or do you have something you'd like to do?
Yeah. I want to go see what's going to happen at Modley's Black Book. You said that's in the second district, right?
Yeah, just like 4 or 5 blocks down.
Yeah, so I'd like to be a part of that. And then I want to speak with the High Priest of the Temple of Cord.
Okay, cool. I'll put you with Cassandra on that, so you guys can go to the temple district within. I mean, within the second district here.
Are you cool with that, Cassandra?
Absolutely.
Zaphreal would be pretty privy to where the Temple of the Raven Queen would be at. He's pretty familiar with Urim.
Oh yeah, Cassandra would even be honored for you to come with her to the Raven Queen Temple. Like, no worries with me.
So that leaves Throg. What would you like to do?
I think Throg would like to expand his champion title to the city of Urim. He's already the champion of the underground arena in Winshire, so he'd like to be
Yeah.
the champion of that here.
Okay, okay. There is quite a notable sort of inside. It's kind of like an octagon, but it's like recessed into the ground completely with a sand pit.
Sure.
It's located in the first district, and we'll say that it's called Blood and Tooth.
Yeah, he's gonna go make some blood and tooths with his fists.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's start off with Mowgli's Black Book, and then I'll go down in the same order that we just went in for goals here. So, Mox, Zaphreal, and Fia, you all make your way to Mowgli's Black Book, which is like a brief walk down the second district. It's a very notable building. It's on a corner street. It's part of the corner and has that sort of like triangle-shaped building look, much like you'd find like at the Daily Bugle. But it's about 2 to 3 stories tall. The third story is a facade, and the exterior is painted black with red trim. Very moody, very like it sort of sticks out to a lot of the other buildings here within the second district. And upon getting a closer look, the windows are like slightly tinted black, so you can't quite see what's inside. However, upon entry, there's a small magical bell that dings as you enter, and I would say that there's probably about 8 shelves that go about 25 feet long in the middle of the store here. Surrounding the main part of the collection, there are a certain amount of smaller shelves with additional books, and in combination with that, there are some glass boxes that appear to hold what you assume to be very valuable texts. At the moment, you don't hear or see the person running the shop, but as you are.
Based off of what Melee stated, with being fairly confident that Asmodeus is one of the 5 gods that we're looking for, I am inclined to adjust my hypothesis that it may not be Ambrosia as one of these, but the god that spawned him.
I think that's agreeable.
Yeah, when I wrote down Asmodeus, I was wondering. I was like, did I write that down wrong, or is that not Ambrosia? So it's very interesting.
He's the Lord of the Nine. Think the
could I-
levels of hell.
Could I roll a history check to see how much I know about Asmodeus?
You did.
Sure, I'll even give you an advantage because the Celestials and Devils are literally locked in a eternal war against each
conflict.
other. Yeah.
With advantage, as is nat 20 at 27.
Specifically, what was your question?
Details on Asmodeus.
So yeah, Asmodeus is, as far as gods go, just as old as the earth that you guys stand on. Asmodeus is definitely associated with being the ruler of the Nine Hells. Um, much to your personal info, has a loose relationship with, gosh dang it, why can I not think of her name at the moment? Evelyn. Uh, he's also been known to be very cunning, has a silver tongue, and as far as your history, as far as the timeline goes, you know, is at least with your upbringing of how you learned things, one of the deities that are responsible for mankind achieving free will.
I relay all this and just add that regardless of the alignment that the god has been portrayed as or even shown, they're a god for a reason, and I'm not sure that we're capable of taking anyone down a peg equal to that level quite yet, but
Oh, believe me,
That's
I
the-
have no intention of messing with Asmodeus anytime soon.
well, we
Yeah.
already kind of have with Endless, and then on top of that, if we take out one of his assumed to be disciples, in Cassandra's case, we may have been the table leg that he has theoretically stubbed his toes on.
That could be a possibility. What I'm hoping is what spawned Ambrosia is under a different god, just on the
You may
same
be right.
tier as Asmodeus. But we'll see. The one benefit we have is Asmodia functions on rules.
So, would you guys like to peruse the bookshop?
Oh, indeed.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me investigation checks.
Zaphreal doesn't really know the first thing of what we're looking for, other than talking with Homeboy when he shows up, but I would like to assist, I'll assist Mons.
Next 20,
Okay.
dog.
Oh, did you go to the bookstore as well?
And the whole group, well, yeah, I should go for this. Kind of.
Well,
I
it
thought-
wasn't necessarily the whole group, but if you'd like to participate, by all means.
Yes, I would love to. That
Okay.
the whole group is going.
And
It's a 27
Okay.
for Mox.
Wow. And what was yours, Zaphreal?
I assisted Mons.
Oh, let me re-roll it. That was 27 was my first. Yeah, it was better. But a 26 for the second.
He's so stupid.
27?
Yeah, 27.
Okay. Who rolled over 20?
I think just
Okay.
Mox and Cassandra.
All right. So, Cassandra, what kind of book are you looking for? Same with you,
He's
Mox.
looking on anything about the transfer of power when it comes to the hierarchy of vampires and gaining strength as a vampire.
Interesting. Okay. And what about you, Mox?
Mox was looking on the ancient history, specifically looking who the 5 deities that came in after the fact were, specifically trying to hone in if that was the vampire god, and then if he can locate that, then he's trying to track down the lineage of the vampire god. He's basically trying to connect the dots between the upending of mankind and Ambrosia, basically trying to fit the pieces on why he's trying to siphon energy from the Phoenix and potentially other deities.
Okay. Let me just pull open some notes real quick. Give me
Yeah,
one second.
go to the ancient texts.
Yeah. I just need to check real quickly with my Pantheon real quick, just so I don't get anything twisted.
The creator of gods will like open up a book and it's like, who are my children again?
Yeah, I was gonna say for future you'll have to get a prop where there's this big book that you just set on your table whenever we ask for this.
Yeah.
We
Oh
open
my
up.
God.
Yeah, you cover it in dust every single time so you can blow on it and then open it.
Yeah.
And when I open it, all the pages are blank except on the middle page. In the middle of the page, it says, "I don't know, man."
I got a world.
Or like a very nice like calligraphied T or the, and that's it.
Okay, so, Cassandra, you end up finding what seems to be written in the form of like a. No, it's not necessarily a diary, but it's almost like a book that not autobiography. It's like it's almost like a field similar to the one that
Field
you
guide?
read from. It's like a field guide almost, I guess. It's in this text that you end up discovering that there are a handful of what's the word? Guys, I can't find my words
Rituals?
tonight. No, hold on, give me 1 second. They're like first account stories.
Eyewitness?
No, it starts with an A, where it's not necessarily.
Account.
Account.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you guys get it.
Anecdote.
Anecdote. Thank you. For fuck's sake.
How you spell that?
Anecdote.
A
I don't know.
N
You have to.
E C D O T E.
Wait, sorry, say it again?
ANECDOTE.
E-O-T-E. C as in Charlie?
Yeah.
I got it. Yep, got it, Kev.
So there are these anecdotal stories taken almost in a interview-like fashion, and there's a handful for what seem to be associated with the four fangs of the night, listing Ambrosia, Resmedrelda, which are the two that you're familiar with. It goes on to say, Ambrosia is known widely as the Snake. Resmedrelda is known widely as the Glutton. Another name pops up that you have not seen before, Nosfiren, who is known as Nozzfiren.
Nozzfirn?
En.
Ian, okay.
He is known as the Fang. And Disodavius, who's known as the Hidden.
Spell that too.
Sorry, yeah. Fantasy names, everybody.
You guys.
Disodavios. Disodavius.
Known as what?
The Hidden.
And then how do you spell Asmodrelda? Sorry.
Resmedrelda is Rezmildra.
As the Glutton.
Yeah, that's a 4-consonant name right there, everybody. There are accounts taken from people long past, mostly describing the fate of certain victims. Nosfiren is very much known for meticulously, in a almost surgical precision, cutting up his victims. Ambrosia is very much known to relish in mankind's societies, almost like living off of them. Resmedrelda is known as the Glutton, and in this book, a theory states that she potentially could have devoured Disodavius, but it's hard to confirm because Disodavius hasn't been seen for literally thousands of years. Because of this mystery, there are little to no accounts or stories related to Disodavius. It's suspected that victims that go missing without a single reason or clue could potentially be victims of Disodavius, but that's as much as you're able to get from this sort of field guide, if you will.
So there was nothing about any hints of how to transfer power.
Oh, as far as transfer of power, it sort of talks about the reason why that theory was suggested that Resmadrelda had devoured Disodavius was because of the immense power that Resmadrelda is known for. Um, you kind of get the idea that she is probably the boss ass bitch as far as the four
Yeah.
fangs of the night go. Transfers of power, though, is not necessarily an uncommon idea within vampiric sort of like pyramid structures of power. Um, to what extent and what that looks like is unclear to you, but the idea is not necessarily far fetched.
Her eyes just kind of log onto the word devour. She just goes, I'm just gonna eat you up and throws you. She just kind of smiles a bit as she pulls in the book.
Zaphreal, Zaphreal, as you're assisting Mhox, Mhox, you're able to pull 2 or 3 books that don't quite cover the length of time that you need information on, but with Zaphreal's help, you are able to identify that about 5,500 years ago is approximately the time that what are colloquially known as like the betrayers showed up in the material plane. One of those would be Tharizdun, and excuse me, not there. I accidentally just read you the wrong name. So there are 2 names that show up in this book. One being Tharizdun, the other being Zahir. And it is implied that Zahir may or may not be tied to or associated with the appearance of vampirism in the world. There's nothing that necessarily is conclusive about the text that you found, but it's the closest link that you could find specifically towards what you're looking for.
Perfect. Keying in on Zahir, that would be the remaining time here in the shop. That's what Mox would be looking for, and he would even touch base with the shopkeep if he ever shows up.
Okay. I'll say with the continued research, I won't make you roll again. You're able to learn that Zahir is typically associated with the domains of trickery and death, and is known for being like an evil god of darkness, and is usually associated with things like poison assassins, snakes. The Yuan Ti also worship this deity, and is essentially like grouped in what could only be categorized as like the betrayer gods. Fia, I know you only rolled a 10, but like that might still let you find at least something. What did you want to look for?
I also was interested in just learning more about the 5 immortals.
The betrayers.
So I don't know if like I would just be working with Mox and finding out kind of similar information. But yeah, that's mostly what I'm looking for.
Okay, well, I'll say this. That's why Tharizdun showed up as well in my last answer. You're part of the reason why that's also discovered. Eventually, the shopkeep does come around, and he seems to be a human male that's in his late 80s. Walks around with a cane, very similar looking to the guy who plays chess with himself in that Pixar short. Very round glasses that magnify his eyes. Oh, I hope everything is easy for you all to find what you're looking for. I can see by the spines that you are all very peculiar on ancient history.
By the Raven Queen, are you of the dead or the living, old man?
And he kind of chokes on his dentures a little bit that came unfit in his mouth as he kind of adjusts his teeth. Oh, I'm just as young as I was yesterday.
She smiles at him. She goes, "You're as young as you want to be, with even 1 foot in the grave."
Oh, yes. Usually I don't let people just read my collection, but you all look pretty well adjusted, so we can call it even. I'm not trying to kick you out, but I don't know if I would necessarily want you to continue reading unless if you buy my books.
Understood. I will then maybe some questions so we can determine if you have the material that we're searching for.
What is it that you need?
Whether or not you have it, if you can point us in the right direction, it would be fantastic. But we are looking for ancient history that dates before the Solarian Empire.
Oh!
We were sent here by Melee, by personal recommendation.
Oh, yes, the little gnome girl. Yes. She's quite nice. Her eyes are so blue. Anyways, oh, tell her she needs to come back with my book. She'll know what it means.
I think we all do.
Anyways, as far as ancient history goes, the books that you have all read are more or less what I have in my collection. You know, the client that gave me these books, well, sold me them, did so in secrecy, but maybe for the right price. As he smiles, kind of like with a shit-eating grin, I might be able to tell you who sold me these books.
What's your
Cassandra.
price?
Oh, what are you gonna do, Zeph?
Just a little 200 gold, nothing serious.
Easy enough.
Zaphreal will pay from his pocket.
Like, before he does, Cass goes, "Do you? I mean, I could work my magic and not waste the money."
We want to maintain friendly relations. I'll pay this.
Good man.
Then, okay, he's a very successful gnome engineer, heading essentially part of the STEAM project in Collinsburg. His name is Woofus Nedril. Don't let the name deceive you. He is a very smart little gnome.
The DM says, trying to protect himself.
Everybody, that's Woofus Nedril. I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it.
That's why he has all these secret books. People kept making fun of him.
Yeah. What? Anyways, give me 1 second. I'm just going to go take a shot real quick. And I guess this bookstore, unless there are any follow-up questions. Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. We'll go to the next thing on Mox's list. I'll be right back. All right. So let's bring it back in.
Bring it back
Mox, you said you wanted to go to a magic store?
Yeah, we don't
Magic?
necessarily have to go me next since the bookstore is the first one for me, so we can
Okay,
kind of share
alright.
the love.
Okay. We'll save the magic items for just a second then. Cassandra, you said you wanted to look for magic scrolls /
alchemist stuff.
alchemy
And
stuff.
follow up on my potion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
It's my worst roll, even though I got it a nat 20.
You know what? I'll give you a +3 because of your familiarity with the second district specifically.
Cool. I can get it. Come on. So that's going to be a 10 plus 3, so that's a 13.
Okay, so you end up actually going back to the original store that you went to buy your Alchemy 101 book, essentially. When going there, I'm going to, if I don't remember the name of the store, so I'm retroactively naming it,
Fair.
and it's going to be called the Steamed Pot.
You know, be funny. What if that was the name he gave last time too? And it's
That's totally fine. I'm going to try and take more notes so I can be a better DM.
you too.
Yeah, that's the laughter from Don I was looking for. Um, so when going there, though, you are able to see that they do have a handful of like basic alchemy kits that come with a certain amount of burners and what are the scientific tubes called? God damn it.
uh,
And beakers, thank you.
Eagers, there you go.
If you want to drop 5 gold, you can get a setup that would essentially allow you to brew multiple potions at once rather than just like one at a time. But there's not necessarily like anything grander than that. I'll say that the more expensive kit that you can buy for 5 gold is better quality, and outside of that, there isn't anything like plus about it as far as like the amount that you can pump out at a time.
So how many of the expensive sets does he have?
Excuse me?
How many like sets of how many expensive the 5 gold sets that you talked about? How many of those does he have for sale?
It looks like there are 3 kits available.
Who's gonna buy all 3 of them?
Hold on, the gnome gentleman that runs the place. Oh yes, hello. You want to buy all 3?
Yes, all 3.
You're a serious player, it looks like, as he gives you this guy is probably 120 years old, so he's like an older gnome, and he just gives you a creepy wink.
She kind of cringes like with like that anime like smile, as she goes, "Yes, I am quite the player when it comes to the beakers and burners."
Oh my! As he sort of like wiggles his like green and blue chaotic pattern bow tie. Well, usually I would charge 15 for this, but if you want to come by more often, I'll give you it to you for 12 gold.
Darling, you're sold.
Oh, you can see that like he kind of blushes a little bit. You go ahead and hand over 12 gold, and you have purchased the 3 kits for the
She
alchemy.
then says, and she kind of like leans in, and like before she leans, her shift weave makes a small window on her chest as she kind of leans down. Now, what kind of potions are you selling, darling?
Not a lot of healing potions because of the war effort, but I do have some niche uses. Like, for example, as he like reaches across and points his at to one of the glass cases, I have a greater invisibility potion, and a slew of resistance potions, but that's the only thing I can offer to you.
You sure you don't have anything in the back?
No, I swear, you are, yeah, these are the best I can offer right now.
Maybe I'll come back sooner if you have something better. As she kind of stands up and smiles and walks out with her.
Oh, and he adjusts his glasses. Toodaloo. Okay, Zaphreal. What were some? Oh, you're gonna go to the Temple District, right?
Yes, and the plan was to go to the Raven Queen Temple as well with Cassandra.
Okay. Was there something else?
Scrolls?
The
Me
bookstore, right?
personally.
Yeah, and that was already done.
Okay. Give me one moment to pause on the Temple District stuff. Is that okay?
Go to the fucking
the Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome.
Uh, hold on. Let me go check on something real quick. Throg, as you make your way through the second district, can we restart that music? I'm going to get another music change in the meantime, but I just want something for now.
Oh, yeah.
You make your way through the second district to the main road that inevitably will lead under the large barricaded wall that separates the first and second district. It's like a good 50 feet tall and 12 feet wide. As you pass under it, the guards all give you a very respectful acknowledgement of your presence as they give you a head nod. Even some go for a simple wave. As you make your way through the streets, you are noticed. But actually, can you make a general charisma check for me?
$17.
As you make your way down to the Blood and Tooth, you are like sort of interrupted a handful of times. One by a family that has three kids that kind of come up to you and sort of admire your large strength and stature. And there are a handful of other people, especially down here in the first district, that immediately recognize that you are part of the Standing Bear and sort of like either cheer you on or say hi to you as you walk the streets, which is kind of cool. You don't really get a lot of this type of attention, especially traveling around the world so much. Um, However, eventually you do get closer to the Blood and Tooth, and it's located about a handful of blocks away from the harbor, and it's positioned specifically so that when sailors come across from their weary travels overseas, they can get some nice high impact entertainment. Um, Now, can we get some sort of rumbly music and maybe the sound of like people fighting playing in the background, please, DJ? Perfect, DJ. I'll give you advantage on your next roll. Okay, so as you enter, this building is quite large, mostly because of the octagonal sand pit that is in the center of it. Around the octagons, there are a plethora of bleachers that match the shape of the fighting ring itself, and you see that it's a pretty packed crowd right now, which is maybe a little surprising because we're only getting to about 12 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Um, Upon entering, there is like essentially a bouncer that sort of like doesn't necessarily give you a hard time, but just like the true bouncer does, like kind of looks you up and down, establishes if you're a threat or not, and lets you in. And there, it immediately smells like sweat in here. It's pretty hot. There's not a lot of open windows. In fact, not a lot of windows at all. And a lot of the lighting that is coming from in here is sustainably produced by like mage light that is surrounding the entire infrastructure. However, in the sand pit, there is a very large mage light that is much bigger than the rest. That essentially acts as like a large illuminating spotlight that goes over the sand pit. At the moment, there are currently two orcs that are of similar build, literally duking it out, and people cheering and booing, and some even resorting to throwing shit down in the ring, which the people who do almost immediately get ejected from their seats. There seems to be a counter that you can go up to where you presumably you could make bets. What would you like to do? I would say, just in one more thing, a lot of the insides of this building gives you the idea that they used a lot of repurposed wood, or if they ever have to make a repair, they used repurposed scavenged wood, and a lot of it resembles that of what you'd find from shipwrecks. So there's
Yeah.
a sort of chaotic look with uneven floorboards and whatnot to the place, giving a dark sort of brown, dingy look to the inside.
Yeah, he'll definitely find where to like either sign up or where the line is to go into the arena and start there.
Okay. Without having to use too much of your brain power, you notice that there is a small line forming just next to the counter where you assume bets are placed, and in the line stands a few orcs. There are 2 dwarves and a couple humans. And as you come to the back of the line, over the next couple minutes as you wait, you notice that the humans in front of you like keep looking over their shoulder very nervously. Can you roll an intimidation check for me?
100%. 25.
You notice that they look back at you, and you use that moment to growl or even make a face and flex your muscles. And they kind of like stiffen up their posture. You see them lean in towards each other, whispering something before they excuse themselves from the line and go towards the bleachers to watch the fights. And after about 15 minutes, the cover charge to sort of participate in the fight is 10 silver, and that sort of goes to a pot that is rewarded to victorious fighters. And upon registration, you're giving basically like what looks like a sticker that's about the size of like a "Hello, my name is" badge. And on it is a 7-digit code that sort of is supposed to represent the fighter you are in the ring.
Okay. All right, yeah, he'll just kind of bide his time sizing up the competition while he waits to get his turn.
So in the sort of sunken octagonal pit, there are 2 side rooms that are diametrically opposite from each other that are made for fighters who are prepping to go in. You are entered into the B chamber, and as you go in, you can see that one of the orcs that was standing in line with you and one of the dwarves that was standing in line with you are present in this room. And they are in the process of like oiling themselves up and like doing some simple pre-workout / stretches. Is there anything you would like to do as you prepare for what is to come?
Oh, 100% he's going to oil up and get his stretches on too. He wants to be limber, doesn't want to pull any hammies or nothing, so he's gonna stretch pretty much most of his muscles out and just kind of get lathered up in some oil, make it harder to grapple.
Sure. And you end up waiting a good 25, 30 minutes before eventually the dwarf is long gone, never came back. The orc that was in the room with you, after 25 minutes, comes back, and you see his eye is swollen, his nose is broken, and there is a smattering of blood, and you notice that one of his tusks has now been broken off, which wasn't before. And he looks at you with a very, like, not giving up type of look as he looks towards you. Yeah. And the bouncer, who is this large human weighing about 250 pounds. It's mostly fat, not gonna lie, it's not a lot of muscle, but he's big. As he looks to you, are you Throg?
I am.
All right, buddy, let's go out there. No throwing sand. People don't like that shit. It's technically legal, but if you do that, you're gonna get a lot of hate from the crowd.
Good to know.
Oh, and no killing, for fuck's sake, please.
Yeah, fine.
He gestures towards the hallway as you follow his lead. And as you emerge into the arena, it's immediately very bright. Being under this intense, large mage light, just a handful of feet above you, is very intense. But once your eyes adjust, you notice that you're the only combatant so far in the stadium. And we'll say that, like, you are tall enough to reach the top of the pit, and you could probably climb out if you wanted to. But we'll say that there's about like 25-ish square feet for you to sort of move around in the space. Your opponent is one of the dwarfs that were in line with you. As they come out, you can see that he is very well toned and has been training for quite some time, and seems to be wearing some decorative belt that implies some level of success that he has as a fighter. So all I want to do at this point, right as you hear the ding from the bell that rings throughout the forum, we're going to treat this as a skill challenge, a best 2 out of 3. So, what I want you to do is like just describe what you'd like to do, and we're going to basically be rolling off of contested athletics checks.
Okay.
How
He'd
would you like to open the fight?
Yeah, he'd like to charge in, grab this dwarf, and chuck him outside of the arena into the wall up where the standees are with his mighty impel. He can chuck him 30 feet, so he can throw him out of the ring into the wall.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll an athletics check. I will as well.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude. I literally just rolled a nat 1.
And I just literally rolled a nat 20 plus 13, 33.
So the dwarf goes towards you as you start to make your moves, taking a couple steps forward. Him, realizing that the size difference here might be an issue, goes to juke you, but unfortunately jukes right into the grab that as you swoop him up with one hand, he nearly escapes from your grasp and falls out, but you catch him with your other hand, and you literally like a soccer throw and just fucking chuck him out of the stadium. And the crowd goes silent as you hear a the crowd is silent. Before the crowd hears the ding, ding, ding bell, and they just start, oh my god! And they start throwing shit into the pit, which immediately almost disqualifies their privileges at the bleachers. But that was, it was an instant knockout. So we're going to move on to your second challenger, which is the other orc that you stood in line with. This guy is maybe 3 feet shorter than you are, so still smaller. You got the height advantage and reach advantage, but may make a better attempt at combating you. So, again, athletics checks.
Sure.
I rolled a 21.
Mine's taking a minute to roll. I rolled a 30.
Because of this fighter's adeptness in combat, a simple throw out of the arena might not be possible. So tell me how you successfully win this first bout.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't going to go for the same attack. The crowd's kind of already seen that one, so he was going to land a mean 3-set combo with like 2 quick jabs with his right fist and then a mean left uppercut into like that bruised side of his face.
Yeah, and the 2 jabs he sort of takes rather respectfully, but the uppercut he does not see coming, and as you hit him square in the jaw, you can see like he may have bit his tongue because his mouth begins to bleed quite a lot, and the uppercut sends him flying back almost to the point where he hits the wall, but lands on the ground and uses that momentum to roll back up backwards onto his feet. You're gonna have to try harder than that. as he spits out a lob of blood. Next round. Oh boy. I rolled a 24.
Ooh.
Okay.
Probably like, I rage now.
Literally. I rolled a 23.
So, right as you go to throw a wild haymaker, he catches with both hands your large fist that almost is the size of his skull, just a little bit smaller, and is able to deflect the blow just enough to the side for you to nearly hit, and you strike down into the sand, and he uses that moment to sort of pop, 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 unleash a flurry of blows onto your chest that nearly knocks the wind out of you. Though this guy is smaller, he can pack a punch, and he goes to go behind you to start off the next round. Go ahead, another rollies.
Okay.
Oh fuck, that's an 18.
Throg's usually a 20 or above type of roller.
Pretty much. 31.
Oh my god.
This was the winning point, so tell me how you finish off the round with him kind of going in mount position in wrestling terms as you are on the ground. How do you win the round?
What is mount position?
Oh,
He's mounting you from behind.
Yeah.
It's hard to not sound gay, but it's like a wrestling thing.
Wrestling is
Okay.
very-
Yeah, since he's going gay wrestling style, Throg will do a high jump in the air before smashing his entire weight into him on the ground. Basically, he'll jump up and fall on his
Just land
back.
on your back? Oh my
Yeah,
god. Okay.
And I think Throg weighs like 500-600 pounds.
Yeah, so you go for the reverse body slam, and at first, this orc tries to see how he can deflect, but he spends too much time deciding on which move to take before he is quite literally flattened as another roar from the crowd just fills this octagonal stadium. And as you stand back up, he appears to be unconscious, and there are a handful of medics that run out to the stadium and carry him out. It's at this point, there are no further combatants. You are not necessarily named the the champion. You'll have to come back for more fights. However, you do walk away with 10 gold in your pocket from winning this event, and depending on how long you want to stay, will be admired by fans and most likely drinks being bought for.
Yeah, he'll stay a little bit, maybe like another hour, and he'll definitely come back.
Yeah, you definitely drink some of these fans under the table, and they don't realize how much you can actually drink before they stop offering to buy you drinks in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, the person that you signed up with originally comes up to you and says, hello, my name is Mason, and the thing is, that was excellent. What would you like to be known as here at the Blood and Tooth? Going forward, if you ever were to sign up, we will use this this name to represent your title.
Well, Throg of the Standing Bear.
That's a little on the nose, but appropriate. And you see Mason writing this down. With that being said, we'll move on to the next bit. If you could change back to the last couple of bits of music that we had.
Can we just say that the Tuck just wrote this in the chat? Throg's nickname should be the Stalwart Bear.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I was like, man, I should have changed it. I didn't know we were doing like WWE kind of names. I thought we were just putting our names on the roster.
Yeah, I just thought it would be fun.
I feel like it's not too late. You can just tell them to change your mind.
Yeah, I think his. I think his name would be the Crushing Bear.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
Oh, and Nev, yes.
play it off like they did in the first Spider-Man, where like he gives his name, but he's like, that fucking sucks. You're actually this.
Oh yeah.
The man
Okay.
spider.
So before we get to the temple stuff, Fia, what were the things that you wanted to do other than go to the bookstore? And you said you wanted to go to the magic item shop.
Yeah, well, I really just kind of want to find a pet, and so
Oh yes.
I might go to the magic item shop to see if there's like a magical pet there. But if there's not, then I'll see if there's like some sort of pet store.
Cass goes with you either
Okay.
way.
Well, for brevity, I will say that the Misfits and Wonders will have a small menagerie of pets to choose from. So for those who are participating in the Misfits and Wonders store, which I think was Cass, Mhox, Fia, was anyone else interested in this, or should we just have it there? Okay, so as you three make your way back to the Misfits and Wonders, which is a shop that you have frequented many times before, and already have an established discount because of your partnership between you and the guild, so I don't want to fucking hear asks
I love
for discounted prices, goddammit.
You know, they're always trying to cheese his ass on everything.
Alright, so upon entering, Fia, you notice that the available magical pets for sale are 3 different types of canaries that all have the ability to breathe fire. And they, not canaries, I mean, what's the bird called? Parakeet, thank you. They all have an assortment of different colors. In fact, if you are interested, you could pick whatever color it is that they are. In addition to that, there seems to be a cat that has 3 eyes, and what looks to be like a little ember, like fire red and like a brown ferret that's about 3.5 feet long. It's a pretty long ferret.
Oh, little fur noodle.
Okay. Is the ferret male or female? I guess I'll talk to the keep and tell him I want to look at the animals.
You are assisted by one of the service members here within Misfits and Wonders, and as she approaches, she says, "Okay, just be very careful." A human female who seems to be like in her 30s. This one is a little nippy. He's not mean. He just is, a little scared. She opens the cage, and immediately the ferret sort of coils up into like a ball shape in order to like protect itself. The store associate puts on a handling glove and pulls out the ferret, and it immediately sort of like grabs onto the glove and is sort of like pulls out the ferret. Are you sure?
We'll see how he does when I hold him, and I'd like to hope that like he like almost immediately calms down. But if not, I'm gonna try to like do a little like flame in my hand and see if like I can entertain him somehow.
Okay, so make an animal handling check, and because you're using your flame in the hand, I'll let you do it at advantage.
20 not natural.
You initially reach out, and it sort of like he like hisses at you almost, and its whole body turns into a long poof snake. And as you sort of like conjure a small flame in your hand, immediately the tension in the ferret's body sort of lessens and becomes mesmerized by the dancing flame, giving you a solid amount of time to sort of pick up this ferret. And as you do, you're pretty naturally resistant to heat, but when you pick up this ferret, it is extraordinarily warm, like warmer than what you were initially anticipating, and seems to like take to your grasp. You're able to hold most of its upper body, but the rest of the body that you can't hold sort of wraps around your waist almost like a belt. As it sort of looks up to you and goes,
I don't know if I have like any little meat scraps or like little pieces of food, but I'm gonna try to give it if I do a little piece of
yeah,
meat or
you probably
something.
have some jerky in your rations and whatnot. And as you feed it, it like nearly takes off your fingernail. It has very, very sharp teeth. And it like takes the jerky and just the store associate looks over to you. Oh, it seems to like you.
Oh, good. Well, I guess it's a him, right? I guess I'll take him, especially if you haven't seen him like somebody like this before.
To be honest, I don't even know if it's a boy. I just assume it is because of his behavior. I haven't got close enough to check.
I'll see if I can check, but I don't know anything about ferrets, so we'll see if I can figure it out.
Have it be a Jeffrey that you make it 2 years into a campaign and find out it's a different sex.
Yeah, yeah. uh, upon closer examination, you're inclined to believe it may be a female, but like a more experienced person may be able to 100% confirm that.
Oh,
Well, this is what's known, at least here in the Empire, as a fire ferret. They're known to sort of live towards hot springs. They really require an extraordinary amount of heat to sustain their lifestyles. Because of their long length, they can be easily targeted by aerial predators, but they are known for their ferocity and their ability to take down prey twice as large as themselves.
Great. Well, I'll take them. I guess I'll call it. I don't know what I'll call it yet. Shall see as I get to know him a little better.
So if you'd like to just purchase the ferret, it will be a standard rate of 15 gold, but if you'd like to also buy an appropriate amount of food for the next little while, I could throw in enough to sustain him for an additional 2 gold.
Okay, I'll do that. And how long will the food last, would you say?
Oh, it kind of depends on how much of an appetite the ferret has, but it's about a month's worth of food.
Okay, I'll get, if it's stable self-stable, I'll get about 3 months worth just in case we don't come back for a minute.
Okay, so we'll call it 20 gold for all of it, for the food and the ferret adoption.
Okay.
Cassandra, you mentioned magic scrolls. What kind of scrolls are you looking for?
forward to the scrolls. Kind of now interested in that kitty cat that you mentioned.
With 3 eyes?
Yeah, like I think that Cass had her arm linked to Fia like the whole time they walked in, like best friends.
Okay.
And watched her by the ferret. When she was taking his gender, she poked her cheek and just called her a pervert.
Oh my god.
Shopkeep, that's a pretty little cat.
Oh, yes. I call her Layla, but like, she's been here for a while. A lot of people don't necessarily want a sighted cat for a lot of good reasons, but yes, this is quite an extraordinary animal. They have minor psychic abilities that they will use in their own self-interest.
No,
a lot. They knock over a lot of things off the countertop.
talk about a spirit animal. I love it. She's definitely more of a Carmilla.
Oh, of course. Would you like to hold her?
Yes.
Go ahead and make an animal handling check.
Watch her be horrible with animals. Hey, 13.
We'll say this. You are able to take the cat from the shopkeep. You have to sort of hold the cat at the nape of its neck, and as you grab it, it does hiss at you, and you look as all its eyes sort of blinked in unison, and as they open, they all kind of have a light purple glow, and you can see some of like the loose items on your person, like maybe some of your weapons or your bags that are tied to your waist, start to like kind of float up a little bit. But as you make eye contact, you're able to sort of soothe it just enough where it sort of calms down and you're able to hold it. It definitely is like latching its claws into your arm in a very painful way, but the cat is being cordial.
I'm using my my left robotic hand with the glove.
Sure,
So,
sure.
But she did, when it hissed at me, I hissed back to give it the same attitude.
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check. Here's Fia using compassion and animal handling to connect with the animal, and Cassandra with intimidation.
Hey, it's a queen versus a queen here. 16.
The cat sort of like recognizes the bigger threat in the room, and it's at that point that it's able to tolerate your petting as you hold it in your mechanical arm.
Oh, she's smiling very gleefully. She's like, I'll take it.
Oh,
No.
perfect. She's been wanting to get adopted for some time now. She is a little old, I will tell you that. So, and just between you and me, please still adopt her, but she has a bit of a pissing problem.
I think I can fix that.
I hope so. I haven't.
I can tell.
Wait, you pissed yourself? As Throg enters the door.
Oh no, the cat, it pisses everywhere. Same charge would go for you though, Cassandra. The 12 gold for the pet, and if you want to buy a month's supply for food, it will be an additional 2 gold.
She'll go up the same amount with Fia just to get the supplies.
Okay,
and
go ahead and just drop 20 gold from your inventory then.
Can we take that from the party fund since we're not splitting up gold? It's just there.
Yeah, I mean we can take that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What was the total again?
20 gold.
Yeah, right.
Do you have any more exotic animals?
Unfortunately, I only have these 3 elemental
Oh.
parakeets.
Oh, I thought you might have a basilisk or something. I don't know.
Oh goodness, no. That's much too big for a facility like this.
Do you know anywhere, or will I have to go find one and beat it to submission?
They're commonly found in the Underdark.
Okay, I'll find where this dark cave is.
Okay.
She's like kind of laugh as she walks over to the scrap.
Throg, we'll come back to you if you want to buy something here. Cassandra, magic scrolls. What were you thinking?
I'm looking for 3 things: 2 scrolls, 1 item. The scrolls, I'm looking for your strongest counter spell scroll.
Okay, give me 1 second. Hold, please. Okay, so the highest level counterspell scroll that they have is a level 5, which is 2 levels higher than the original spell cost, and they will sell that to you for 400 gold. What was the other scroll that you said?
I'm looking for that the one that I used on Zaphreal. I'm looking for what's the word? Invisible wall.
Oh, okay. The wall of force.
Yes, wall of force.
That one is a little bit more expensive, but I do have a single wall of force scroll. It costs 2,100 gold pieces.
21 gold? Perfect.
No, 2100, dear. Sorry.
Oh,
That's a very, very powerful spell.
how much gold did we get from the bank?
It hasn't necessarily been split up yet.
Yeah.
Mm.
You could set in an order and have it delivered or something.
Have what delivered? Oh, the gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to take money from.
The rough hack was like about 1,800 a piece, and then you'd split the like 20 platinum, which would give you another like 50-ish gold.
Mm.
Currently, the party fund is sitting at about 14,000 gold.
May I take just a little bit for this?
I was wondering if the way we should split it, I don't know, we can all discuss, but like maybe keep half of it in the party fund so we have it and then split the other half amongst us. So maybe that'd be, I don't know if that's like 1,000 gold or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you guys want to work this out real quick, that's totally fine.
Cool. I don't want to like spend money and then like.
If we were to take half and including the members that aren't at the table,
Oh, it's cute.
Divide that portion, that half portion by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
okay, so that would be okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me get
I think it's
these
7.
numbers. 1 second.
Oh wait, no, I'm counting you. Sorry.
While that's being accounted for, excuse me, Cassandra, what is the magical item you're looking for?
What magical items do you have per se? And I'm talking.
To be honest, Dre, it will be easier for me as a DM to, like, you ask me what you want. Because there are so many different magical items that could be sold at any given time.
Everyone can add 1,081 gold to their coffers.
Oh, perfect.
1,081.
How about are you dividing up the platinum?
That's combined.
Okay.
Assuming that, like, I just converted the platinum into gold. That's approximately what it would be.
How much was it again? Sorry.
1,081.
She's gonna look at Zaphreal 1,000. And go. Since I use that scroll to hold you back, do you mind if I borrow a little from the whole thing?
I'll just give her my portion. Zaphreal doesn't really hold a lot of weight when it comes to monetary gain.
Oh, Zap, that's too sweet. Thank you. Then she'll pay her half for it then and buy that scroll.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and mark down that you have a level 5 counterspell scroll.
And the level 5 counter. And how much was that one? That was 400, right?
400, yeah.
And then she paid her half for the other one. And that's a level 7 spell, right? The Wall of Force.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That was 2,100 gold, I believe.
Okay, so okay. It's here.
Just as an update to everybody, the party fund is currently at 1,068 gold and 650 platinum.
Perfect.
Okay. Zaphreal, what would you like to buy?
No, I'm
Okay.
passing.
Throg, what would you like to buy?
Well, they don't really have a basilisk or anything.
Oh my goodness.
Or like a little baby dragon egg or nothing. So, yeah, I don't think there's really anything he can buy. He's still looking for the Thunder Giant belt.
That's unfortunately not in the store. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to probably be more likely to find that out in the world, because we're talking about legendary item status there.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this before. It's he's got to go to his clan, I think.
Well, I mean that could be a way of doing it. But
Okay, gotcha.
Like you know,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could ask
They
the
don't need 'em.
shopkeep to like write down your information and have them reach out to the tower if any of their shops ever come across one or something.
I would rather kill a fellow thunder giant and get it that way. You know, to like take a championship belt, it's much more worth earning it than buying it.
For sure.
Mhox.
There's a couple items that would assist me as a blood hunter. I was hoping that you may have. I know some of the rarities are a little bit more obscure, but I guess starting at the highest, that you wouldn't happen to have a cloak of displacement, would you?
What is the rarity of that? Is it
Rare.
very rare? Rare? In fact, we actually have two in different colors. We have, and she points to a rack that's just across the way. There's a cloak of displacement, and both of them, as they hang, sort of shimmer in space, and it's almost hard to like focus your eye onto it, which immediately gives it away of its magical properties. There's a dark brown and a deep maroon color of robe of displacement.
I think I'll take that deep maroon.
Perfect. Go ahead and try it on. Let me see how much this is. We got. I'll sell it to you for 1,900 gold.
Okay. And then I guess I misspoke. The one that may be more rare is a manual of quickness.
We do have some manuals. Hold on. Can you read me what that is? I'm not sure. Is that one of those tomes that increase your dexterity or something?
Mm-hmm.
Europe.
It's ultra rare, so that one.
Or
I guess very rare.
That's a good idea. Throg could use some of them, something like that.
Let's see here. I do have. Let me make a roll for this. We'll see. Hell yeah. They will sell this to you for. Oof. They'll sell it to you for 10K.
Well, it's nice to know that there is one in the city, but that's,
How much do you have?
like with my platinum, it'd be about $2,000, so it'd be majority of it would have to come out of somewhere else, and I'm not gonna do that. So.
Yeah, Throg's got like 5K, but not enough.
God damn. So I was like, what's
Throg hasn't bought anything like the entire campaign. Like he's just sitting there.
However, I will say this. If anybody wants to trade in a magic item, I'll cut the asking price in half.
Oh.
Any magic item or specific rarity? Because I was going to sell my Trident of Warding, but that's only a
hold on.
uncommon.
We have 2+1 daggers from Party Fund that we got recently.
I definitely use you one.
I have somebody's skull in a jar named Thrinsapan. I don't know when the hell I got that. But
Also, I'm now realizing you could redact your purchase of the Cloak of Displacement because we currently have one in the Party Fund.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
That could save you a little bit as well. Sorry, I didn't realize until the transaction was made that we have one.
If that's the case, if you want to trade in that cloak of displacement, there'll be 100 gold fee for the transactional encounter. However, you could trade it out for a different color of cloak of displacement.
I think I'm good with the maroon personally, but
Okay, so how would you like to?
I am not dead set on that. The last
Okay.
item that Mox was looking for here is the parapet of wound closures, an uncommon.
Oh, for sure. We have a small collection of those just right over there. They're in the glass case, and there seems to be 4 of those as well.
Perfect.
The rarity definitely helps you in this case.
Perfect. I will
And
definitely take one.
for a parapet, that would be we'll call it 250.
Perfect.
So what will you be purchasing?
Just those two, the cloak of displacement and the
Okay.
wound closure.
Okay. So did you want to trade in the cloak, or do you want to trade in your daggers to lessen the price?
For
the cloak of displacement, because you guys got a cloak from Sebastian when you defeated
He
him.
had already ordered the cloak though before we discovered that, so he's already paid for that.
Oh, okay.
yeah, we could turn it in for regular gold. The only thing that Mox may be turning into just getting rid of it out of his inventory is his Trident of Warning, which is an uncommon.
Ooh. I have that stuff I got from the Magic Kingdom from the class thing. I don't know what it is, but it was a magic silver dagger. If that helps.
Mm.
And 4 ancient tools.
Sure. So, as far as the cloak of displacement, if you were to offer up the magical dagger and the ancient tools, that would cut down the price by 8,000. So you're looking at 2,000 gold for the cloak of displacement.
Wait, the cloak of displacement was 1,900. The one that was really expensive was
sorry.
the item that I was
my
not
bad.
getting.
Yeah, I got my wires crossed. You're right. Yeah. So, yeah, actually, with those items, it would essentially knock down the price to essentially free. So you can go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Oh, sweet. That's
Eek.
it for Mox.
Okay, Fia, was there any magic items you wanted to look at, or is it just the pet you're concerned about?
I just wanted the pet, but I just realized there might be items I need for the pet. I was wondering if the pet will either like stay by me, or if I need a little like leash and harness or cage for it or something.
We'll say that like with the amount of gold that you purchased, as like a medium-sized carrier would be provided, and like collar and leash, just to make things easy. Same goes for you, Cassandra.
So, can you repeat that?
You have a small to medium-sized carrier for your cat, as well as a leash and collar.
Perfect. She's holding it in the carrier right now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this, we're going to head to the Temple District. I want to take a quick 10-minute, real quick, and I'm going to try to not go super long tonight. Hopefully, we'll be all done by at least 11, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
10
I mean,
minutes.
we're spending like 2 weeks here. It's not like we have to get it all done today, though. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So we will come back at 9:54. Everybody. Let's see here. So I know Cassandra and Zaphreal were going to go together. Does anybody else want to join in on that?
Anyone's welcome.
Okay.
What are we going to do, apparently?
They're going to go talk to some associates at, I think Zaph wanted to go to the Temple of Cord, and then they're also going to go to the Temple of the Raven Queen.
Nah, I thought I was just going to chill, maybe find out info on dragons or something, I don't know.
Just go ahead and roll me a straight intelligence check.
Oh, god damn it. That's my weakest link.
I
Watch me
know.
at 3 though.
Hey, 14 though.
Hey.
All right,
He's got a little
Throg.
brain power.
You you know those dragonology books from like the late 2000s?
Yeah. You would buy them at like book fairs in school and shit.
Yes, yes. So it's essentially that. It's like a large picture book, and it's stylized to be consumed by a younger audience. That you get the idea. It's very easy for you to sort of pick up on some things, and honestly, it just sort of states all the typical type of dragons that you may encounter in the world. Much of which that you're either familiar or have even fought against. However, there is
Oh,
a
oh,
list in the back of the book that notates very famous or infamous dragons in the land, and there's
oh,
two that stick out to you. There is a green dragon located in the forests in oh shit, hold on, let me pull up the map.
oh.
Hold please.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna take a quick vacation trip. I'll see you in a week.
That makes sense.
So in the forests that surround Tozus, which is essentially like a large industrial gnome city, in the forests
Okay.
somewhere can be found the lair of Rezi, Rezzy, and they are a green dragon that has played the lands from behind the scenes for many years. Never been found, at least.
Interesting.
And so, hold please. Hold on.
What are we holding on to? So, hold on.
About to hold on to a dragon's what I'm about to hold on to.
Then the next dragon on this list is known as Skull, but it's spelled
Oh,
Skul.
that's how you
And
spell it, isn't it? At least Dog believes.
this is a black dragon that has a lair in the Isles of Garnath. The lair has never been found because it's assumed that if it was ever found, there were no people that came back to report because they were most likely caught in the fury of Skull. But this black dragon can be
Interesting.
found at in the Isles of Garnath.
Good
I will
to
say,
know. Daddy needs a new mount.
uh, I don't necessarily know how to say this in a fruitful way for the like the universe. I'm just going to just basically say both of these dragons are rated as an S class.
Ooh. Yeah, Daddy needs a new mount, and S class sounds nice.
Oh boy.
Holding him by the head.
That's not what I
No.
thought Throg was going to take away from all this.
Yeah. Throg has definitely found some new challengers that he's going to investigate. I think Throg has a new goal he wants to pursue.
Okay. With that being said, Zaph and Endless, as you make your way to the
Endless?
what did I? Oh shit! Sorry, Zaph and Cassandra. Sorry. As you make your way to the Temple District, the closer you get, the quieter and quieter the construction noise in the second district becomes. You assume that the construction is mostly focused on now heavy streets that are well traveled on. But the further inward of the second district you go, the less and less it becomes known. Um, if you wouldn't mind, DJ, can you play some more cathedral type stuff similar to the stuff you played when we were at the Phoenix Temple? And if you want to later on some chitter chatter on top of that, that'd be fine too. As you guys come to the Temple District, let me pull up in my notes real quick. Hold please. Oh boy. God damn it, hold on. I have to use my phone because my computer's too slow. Okay, so although the pantheon is quite large, as far as like the accepted gods that the empire allows for worship, there are 5 main temples that are like essentially designed on a circular street pattern, all dividing the circle path into 5 parts. Each temple being a little bit more distinct than the others. Um, the 5 being Melora, Cord, Ioun, Arathis, and Palor. However, there are smaller temples associated to all the other gods in the pantheon. One of them being the Raven Queen. So, uh, the two of you, could you decide where you want to go first? And also, Evan, could we get something a little bit more chanty?
Anti, huh?
Cassandra, we can go to the Raven Queen's temple first.
Are
And
you sure? I don't mind.
I think we'll be just fine. I'm not certain how long my conversation will take. So,
No
we'll
worries.
go to yours first.
The quiet is nice, though, I must say.
You know, there are some things that I think are absolutely abhorrent with the Urim Empire, but they've done well with this district.
I agree. It is beautiful. I'm sure gonna head to the Raven Queen. She'll use the sentience of her sword to help guide her to exactly where it's at.
Yeah, and sword not necessarily needed, but this is the first time you will have visited. Um, Cassandra, this doesn't necessarily reflect on how great of a worshiper of the Raven Queen you are, but like, you can decide this. Have you ever been to a temple built for the Raven Queen?
In her past, sure, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's how she had places to stay
So,
and live. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that this temple is just that. Like,
Okay.
as far as like temples built for the Raven Queen go, they're a little less common. They can be found throughout the Urim Empire, but if you're looking for one that has such majesty as this one is, I would say this is one that you've been to. I'll simply describe quickly. It all shares a sort of like Gothic architecture, so lots of peats with little bibs and bobs poking off of them. This temple stands about 100 feet tall, which is about half the size or so of the other main temples. It's primarily constructed of what looks to be marble and a dark gray stone. Um, and the glass that adorns the walls of the temple, including the rooftops, is adorned with what looks some sort of like obsidian material. So when the light hits it, it almost has a purple hue, but where the shadows exist is kind of a black color. Upon climbing up the small marbled stairs, you come to the doors that are already wide open, with 2 clerics of death that sort of greet you as you come in. They are wearing black veils that completely shroud their face, and accompanied by what could only kind of like a like 18th century corset dress that is black that has white frillies around the sleeves, and they in unison sort of gesture you inside.
Bows her head before she goes in. It's funny, Zaphreal, how many times I've stayed here when you and the other standing bear were just starting. We kind of bumped into each other.
I think we were bound to eventually cross paths. But although this Temple of Cord is the one I've developed most of a reputation, this isn't where I began.
Ah, good to know. And yeah, I do agree.
As you walk into the main chapel, there's about it's kind of like an antechamber that's about 1,200 square feet, enough for a series of benches and small side tables, upon which you can find holy texts that are relevant to the pantheon and specifically the Raven Queen. Um, there are some clerks seeming to be like either praying over or commencing some sort of religious ceremony on some of the. Oh, look at my little son there. Uh, they're conducting some sort of religious ceremony. You recognize it immediately as some sort of baptism. You see, they kind of like smear what looks appear to be blood, but it's just red ink across the face in sort of ceremonial type patterns. Um, and upon exiting this antechamber is the main cathedral, space of the chapel. Um, there are an additional small side rooms that dot the perimeter of the chapel. They're not necessarily open to the public per se. Inside here, you see several rows of pews that eventually lead up to a main raised platform like stage that has a main speaking area for those to conduct sermons. And behind is a beautiful 70-foot tall, nearly as tall as the building itself, stained glass depiction of the Raven Queen. She is adorned with her arms spread wide open as if trying to imply an embrace, wearing black gowns and a black veil that is pulled over the head, depicting a very sort of like shadow stained skin color with beautiful black eyes that are deeper than the void themselves, surrounded by feathers that fall, tainted black, with some towards the top of the mural, uh, raven like or crows sort of flying up into the air.
She's her mouth's a bit of a gap as she just kind of looks in awe to it, as she just kind of sighs with some relief, and she just goes, "You know, Zaph, when I'm done hunting and killing monsters, if I'm not called to the Shadowfell itself, I may just retire in a temple like this."
Well, I mean, you are relatively immortal. What what does retirement look like for someone who does not age?
I mean, I've been baptized. I've been accepted, housed. And even though I'm a paladin, I have some reputation with them. I think it would just be the commitment.
I see.
It'd be nice.
Zaphreal like ponders this for a minute.
So, Cassandra, as you guys walk up to the pews, you notice that there is a death cleric that comes behind you, similarly dressed to the clerics at the front, except this appears to be a male based off of their muscular structure and their height. Similarly, wearing a veil, however, instead of a dress, a very like silk clothing that has been stained black with a same white trim. Going past you, walking up the pews, holding a what's the word? Um, Collection bucket. I don't know what. I'm sure there's an official term for it.
Like a sermon?
No, like
not sermon.
they're essentially collecting funds. So, would you guys like to donate?
Oh, Cassandra gives 2 platinum.
I do the same.
There is no response, but the cleric looks towards you both and gives you a very humble bow of the head as he silently moves past you to the other patrons taking refuge inside here. Cassandra, what is it that you wanted to do here?
And she'll bow her head in thanks to Zaphreal. She's looking to attempt to have an audience with the Raven Queen herself.
Okay. Zaph, as you follow behind, Cassandra leads you down the main aisle that will go directly up towards the stage, which is accessible to the public. And as you walk up the stairs, you now sit below this large, beautiful stained glass mural of the Raven Queen. And below, right directly in the center of it, is about a pool about the size as similar to the Sunwell at the Phoenix Temple, except it is full of a glistening dark red liquid.
Zaphreal will look up at the mural and then over to Cassandra. Will close his eyes and not drop his head a bit and offer a silent prayer that he'll keep to himself and go walk to sit by the benches.
Down below? Okay.
Cassandra's her shift weave is gonna completely change her outfit as she's gonna mimic. It's gonna do the same outfit as one of the priests to
Okay.
show respect to the Raven Queen, and she'll put her sword she'll like a knight. She's kneeling like a knight would kneel with the sword into the ground.
As you kneel below you, the sun briefly comes out from one of the clouds and beautifully shines a ray of light through the glass. And as it enters your eye, you feel the cold embrace of death, and the pool beckons you.
She stands up, very ceremonially holding the sword downwards now, as she will just walk to the pool and go in.
When each step you walk in, the temperature of this liquid is very similar to that of your own existence. And you get in the direct epicenter of the pool, and it comes up to about your waist. And as you submerge yourself, the wind is taken from your lungs. The constriction of your body clinging onto life starts to constrict as the very similar feeling of death comes upon you when your vision goes to black and you don't see anything, but you feel the sensation of the pool that you're in, but you appear to be standing in a dark abyss.
Raven Mother.
You just hear oh, 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 calling from the distance.
She walks towards the calling.
As you start to walk towards the sound of the cawing, starlight visions of light start to appear around you, and they all start to coalesce and swirl into what seems to be an astral body, much like a star constellation before it takes form of the Mother of Death. The form that is presented to you is colossal. And it's almost overwhelming, but this is who you worship.
She does the night kneel with the sword. The time of my oath is upon us, Mother.
Yes, 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 yes.
I ask you to watch over me when the time comes. I need your help in understanding how I can take his power to better serve you.
The next thing that you hear isn't something that's audible. It's translated through your mind through a series of images and sounds that all coalesce into what you interpret as speech. The goddess before you doesn't actually speak a word. However, the vision that you're given is the vampire and life is an abomination to what I stand for as the Raven Mother.
She agrees.
You are my perfect tool to relinquish this threat. However, there is an irony. I'm sure you are aware of this. You seek to destroy that which you very are. So when the time comes and Ambrosia is slain, it is that I hope you make the right decision on how to handle his death.
All I ask is for your guidance, and I will do whatever I can to better serve you. And once every monster is dead, I will come to Shadowfell to serve you for eternity.
A pole starts to whoosh you, sort of like whoosh you through the space behind you, and as you're being pulled back, power does not mean everything. Be careful on how you use it. And you take a gasp of breath, and you feel liquid filling your lungs, and you realize that you have been submerged into the pool completely, and you sort of come back up out of the pool dripping in a red ichor that falls and bloops into the pool below you.
She'll eyes widen as she just kind of looking around, just taking a sense to gain her senses. She'll get out and sheath her blade and just while
As-
still okay.
As you get out and sheathe your blade, there are two clerics that are there in anticipation, and they seem very sympathetic towards you, and I hand you a smattering of different cloth towels to sort of wipe yourself off.
She doesn't. She goes, no. This is a blessing. And she just nods her head and
Both of them put their arms together and give you a very respectful bow. It's hard to tell because you cannot see their faces, but uh, it gives you the vibe of they recognize kind of like who you are because of what they're able to pick up on as far as their connection to the Raven Queen.
and she bows her head as she's gonna then walk out, leaving a trail of blood of the red ink footsteps as she's barefoot.
Actually, the pool that you stood in was actually blood.
Oh,
The ink that was used earlier is just for ceremonies, but like that was the real deal. Anyways,
yeah, she is. She is kind of starving, like just like trying to be as respectful and humble as she
well,
can.
it's just like a kid with the cookie batter spoon after you mixed up everything. You know what I mean? Like you're doing
yeah, like
this.
she is. She
licking
wants
off your
to.
fingers.
She wants to so bad, but she won't. Right, to be respectful. But she
So-
is like she really wants. She wants to so bad. Yeah.
Sure. Zaphreal, Cassandra doesn't exchange a matter of words until you guys are left out onto the main walkway. Cassandra, you do get a number of looks from passersby, but the time it takes for you to get to the Temple of Cord, we're going to say that you've dried off enough with the blood that you're not necessarily going to be making any trails into
Yeah.
a holy space.
And she's still wearing the cleric look to the Raven Queen Mother too. So.
Unironically, Cassandra, I think you'll fit in just fine covered in all that blood.
And she kind of looks at is the temple in sight?
Yeah, so the temple itself is probably about double the size of the Raven Queen temple and has a very sturdy look to its composure. Still falling under the Gothic architectural style. It very much looks like a bastion that would be on the corner of a fort. It looks very sturdy and has the appearance of like a red brick exterior.
I love the appeal. Don't get me wrong, very same flavor. But Zaphreal, darling, will I light on fire if I walk in?
Cord knows of you in my presence, and he knows of your valor. And that, your valor and might, is what Cord judges upon.
I easily have faith in your word, Zaphreal. I will
That being
step.
said, maybe not share to the world that you're a vampire within the walls.
Oh, no. Thankfully, the bell is serious.
Hopefully, the dried blood doesn't give anything away. No. So as you walk up the staircase is about twice as big as well, and at the top, similarly, the doors are wide open, and you see um, that there are two clerics outside. Uh, you notice, though, they are both shirtless, human males with shaved bald heads, with a very built physique form, with a pair of baggy pants with a large sash-like belt tied around the waist. As they both greet you, one of the clerics says, "Ah, Sir Zaphreal, it's nice that you have returned. Please," as he uh, sort of like gestures you in.
He bows, not super far down, but enough to show respect, and then we'll canter upon forward.
Upon going into this temple, there are some pews, but they have been sort of like set up in such a way that it's almost like a circular pattern, and in the center is a large sand pit, and it's like essentially there is a pew, if you will, not pew, sort of like an area where someone conducting a sermon could do such. But you see in this sandpit there are a handful of clerics slash citizens that are tossing down. Like there are some people like doing some jujitsu shit, and like just throwing blows, all sorts of shit going on. Uh, what is it that? Oh, additionally, at the back of the chapel is a large mural that's about twice the size of the Raven Queen temple. You see a dark brown colored skin individual that has rippling muscles, a bare chest that is depicted with some bits of hair and like all like rippling muscles, and you see on the wrists large golden bracers that are embedded with like emerald-like gems, spouting similarly colored pants that the clerics wear. You see that he is surrounded by the ocean at his feet and lightning striking from the top of the mural, coming down, illuminating the space with essentially different weapons like axes and swords put in the middle and between. What would you like to do here?
As we walk into the cathedral, Zaphreal will put his blindfold on, more or less to show that he's still training his body. And Zaphreal will kind of like, because Cassandra's like quite a bit shorter than Zaphreal, isn't she?
She's 5'8". Yeah, she's about 5'8", 5'9".
Zaphreal will kind of look down while keeping his stride forward. Cord is a god of several things. But I was not joking earlier when I said that he judges those who enter this temple by their might, power, and accomplishments in battle. He commands the storms and the war within our hearts.
I can see that in his mighty echo.
Now, many of the followers try to mimic that behavior, but have not yet found that within themselves. So they choose to train their bodies and their minds within the pit in the center of this temple to prove themselves worthy enough for the valor that he bestows.
Interesting. Here,
And then Zaphreal will just kind of give a slight tour as we walk towards the chapel section.
Okay. Who are you looking for, or what are you looking to do?
I'm looking to speak with the high priest.
Okay. Um, the priests here are known as warlords, and you've spoken to this guy before, but I'm retconning his name. Hold please. So it's gonna be it's a orc who's about middle aged. Go ahead.
I have his name if you'd like.
Oh wait, for real? You actually
Yeah.
do?
Yeah,
Please.
Belden runs the temple.
Belden. Okay, so all
And
right.
then High Cleric Alderic is
Aldrich.
Alderic.
Okay, we're gonna call that Warlord Aldrich instead. You saying that reminds me now. Because in fact, I'll give you advantage on your next roll, because it literally, you spoke to Aldrich right before Hendrickson left the party, and that was ages ago.
Yeah, and we talked to him specific not only about Hendrickson, but about the mark on Endless's hands from what the fuck her name is?
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Yeah. So yeah, you find that Warlord Aldrich. You are guided by a handful of priests here, or clerics rather, to Aldrich's one of the many side rooms that are private to the public. Inside is a simple room, and everything, like including the chairs and desks in this room, are made of stone. And instead of having a stained glass window in here, it's just like a latticed iron bar window. As you walk in, Aldrich, oh, hello there, Sir Zaphreal, and Cassandra, I presume.
She just bows her head in respect.
She just recently communed with the Raven Queen, such as her appearance.
Ah, that would explain the blood. He stands up, and this is a dwarven male who's in the prime of his life. He's very physically fit, and around his waist, Orochimaru style, is a large golden yellow rope that's about 3 inches in diameter that's tied around his waist and in a big bow knot in the back. His pants are an emerald green, and within his eyes, you can see like around the iris is a small golden glowing amount of light. This guy is the bee's knees as he approaches you from standing up on his desk. What is it that I can do for you?
First things first. It's always a pleasure to see you, Warlord.
As it is for you, Sir Zaphreal. You have brought much great honor to this temple.
I come not only seeking advice, but answers to questions and your opinion on my steps forward. So I guess I'll just take one at a time.
As you are. There is a handful of stone chairs that he gestures for both of you to sit in, as he simply takes a seat on the floor in a like yogic sort of position with his legs crossed.
Recently, I have seen some flaws within my own self. That I rely too much on the rage within myself to propel my battles. I don't think with a level head, and it's gotten many of my friends hurt. Additionally, it causes me to go into battle much more brashly than I would have otherwise. And normally, against an ordinary foe, that would be no challenge for me. But the foes that we face now and that we will face in the future could lead to a very deadly situation if I were to be caught in such. But I don't want my emotions to be blocked by this rage within myself. I've done a lot of work on that, but have you ever witnessed a paladin grow to my strength and have the same worry?
He takes a long pause, and you can see that he's taking intentional, deep, long, drawn-out breaths. And after waiting for some time, he looks at you in the eyes as he stands up. Zaphreal, you are the golden standard of what it means to be a worshiper of Kord, because here's the thing. The path you follow when worshiping Kord is not a expected path. Each path is individualized to each person. But it is very common for those to rely on their brute strength and rage and sense of justice that they have to carry them through fights. But it's the worshippers of Kord that realize that strength can come from other places rather than from anger. And Zaphreal, the fact that you come to me as the warlord, as a follower of Kord, that shows me that on your spiritual path that you are now walking confidently. You are well on your way to be in a position like me someday. And I would champion that. Because it's this lesson you need to learn, that like your strength can come from within and those that surround you, and not from a finite resource such as anger.
I've had to learn this lesson the hard way many times. Through the loss of my beloved and my child, through the loss of friends. And though there are decisions that I've made that some may view as a mistake, I have provided the opportunity for a new race of people to exist within this plane. Some may deem that as an unholy act, but I see it as a righteous one.
He nods in approval.
The reason why I have this doubt. Warlord, I feel that I am nearing my potential within this plane of existence. Soon, lessons that I will soon learn, and the slight amount of growth I have left. I'm left wondering, will me being here disrupt the balance that we so vigorously try to uphold?
Someone like you, people like us, as he gestures towards himself, where we are is exactly where we need to be. And if it's your anger that you wish to expel, I can offer my wisdom to you if you so desire to spend an indeterminate amount of time. I can get you there. With my guidance and your determination, I'm positive.
That is appreciated. Definitely gives me some things to think about. These days, I can't seem to stay in one place for more than a day at a time.
When you are at the top like I am, it's to be expected. But eventually, Zaphreal, you'll find the one thing that anchors you to this plane. And for me, it was being warlord. But with that, he sort of takes a couple steps backwards, gives you both a very respectful bow.
That's the same.
Anything else, Zaphreal?
I have two questions. The first, my group, I'm sure it's renowned from this temple, no mean to boast. The leaders of the Fellowship of the Standing Bear have come across a very disturbing bit of information. We went to go to the Temple of the Phoenix to help save a friend from some power she was losing as she draws from the power of the Phoenix.
His eyebrows furrow.
From ancient texts that we found within the temple after slaying the foes that lied within, we found that there are 5 other temples that represent the elementals of this plane, but have come up empty trying to figure out information that could either lead us to them or give us more insight of the decisions we should make. Have you ever heard of this?
Just a quick meta correction. Are you referring to the 4 elemental spirit?
Yeah, sorry.
Elemental stuff? Okay. He looks towards you. Hold on. I can't say too much about elementals, but I know that in the beginning, Cord, accompanied by his 6 followers, came to this plane and made an agreement with the elemental forces to bring our very existence into being. I don't know much more than that. I'm sorry. Historical studies was not my strong suit.
Well then, I guess I'll give you this as a preparation if things were to go wrong. I have reason to believe that these elementals are in danger.
You see Warlord Aldrich look a little puzzled by your statement. And as he takes time to think, as he's breathing deeply, he returns to you. I'm not sure what to make of this, but I can use certain resources to potentially find out some more information, if that's what it is you're looking for.
If you're able to find out anything, can you send a missive to Malin over at our fortress?
Of course. And he gives another polite bow.
Now to conclude this, sorry for wasting your time, Warlord. Through remembering past tomes and teachings and sermons of past times, the story of Cord's armor, slaying the dragons to more or less form his gauntlets to show the world his power. I feel that once I am able to relinquish this anger within myself, that I will fully be able to at least prove myself enough to Cord to don armor worthy of his own strength. I don't feel I'm worthy for this task yet, but I want to know if you have any steps I should take first.
I'll give you this. And he reaches into his baggy pant pocket from his silk pantaloons as he pulls out a amulet that's about 2.5 inches in diameter, a little bit bigger than a 50-cent piece. And it shows the emblem of Cord, which is a lightning bolt. And he says, "Take this. This was given to me by the prior warlord, and this will let you know when you are ready." As he hands it off to you. The second it drops into your hand, it feels incredibly heavy. The way that the warlord was just handling it gave you almost the impression that it was light. But even as you put it into your pack, it's probably an additional 65 pounds on your person. It's a heavy amulet.
He's taken by a little surprise by its weight, but 25 strength score says that I don't struggle with it.
Well, sure, yeah, you don't struggle, but like it
Heavy.
you know.
Thank you for this, Alderek.
Of course.
If you ever find yourself having free time, my squire Hendrickson, I graduated. He is currently a captain within my forces over at why can't I remember the name?
Windshire?
He's currently captaining my forces over at Windshire and is very quickly stepping into the position of what I would deem to be a general within our forces. You'd be proud to see the growth he's attained.
I'm sure I would. But Zaphreal, if I'm going to be honest, the only interest I have on passing off wisdom is to you.
If you ever have any promising followers, send one my way. I'm in need of a new squire.
He gives you a bow of the head. Now, please, as he gestures towards the door.
Zaphreal gives a very low bow of respect and sees himself out.
Cass follows. Once they get out, she will say to Zaph, I appreciate you giving me a tour of your temple. And it was inspiring.
The dedication is the same. This is all that I was trying to show. That though we have different beliefs, we all believe in our causes the same amount.
We do. I am glad that I have a friend in you, Zaph.
Thank you for that. The feeling is mutual, Cassandra. I worry for you, but it's not out of your own health, but it's about the choices that you are soon going to have to make. But I believe you're strong enough to make those.
Kind of bites her lip a little bit. She kind of stops walking for a minute. She goes, Zaph, I have to ask a selfish request from you.
Anything, friend.
If I can't control it, strike me down before I become what Ambrosia did and end the curse of the Warthog family. I asked us.
Go ahead, sorry.
That was it.
Zaphreal will stop in his stride and turn to look at you. I vow to do anything that you need, Cassandra. And then he'll keep walking.
And with that, the camera will, with extraordinary speed, start to zoom out, and as it snakes through the alleyways until it shows the HQ of the Standing Bear as one by one each member of the group makes their way into the tower. The camera will then turn to pan across the wintry sunset that now cascades over the mountains in the far distance. And that is where we will leave it off for tonight.